Kan jy Afrikaans praat?
Ek probeer om Afrikaans te praat, ja.
Mooi.
Jy kan gooi, bro.
'n bietjie van 'n Pretoria aksent.
Is dit?
Ja.
Ja.
Is dit nou 'n Pretoria accent?
Sy bietjie rond is.
Is rond.
Op my po en my mo.
Ja.
My pa en momo.
That's how Afrikaans people mock each other. Because Pretoria people go, yeah, my mo and my po. Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode of House Life with Bouwer and Themba, or House Life with Themba and Bouwer. Well, we're still fighting over the name. Today on the show, super excited. There's one name in this country that is the most powerful Afrikaans name, and there's two of them in South African sports, and the one is sitting right here today. The name is Rassie van der Dussen.
Ja, nie die ander een nie. The second one now these days.
You are just as important these days.
Well, I'm not sure. Yeah.
I think you are.
So
Thank you.
I'm going to leap in with a question. Does that ever happen where people go, oh, Rassie, like Rassie, Erasmus?
Yeah.
Is that your...
It definitely has happened a lot, especially in the last 5 years since we've won the World Cup twice.
Yeah.
Before that, not as much.
Yeah.
But like in the last, like
Yeah.
Every time Rassie
the
wins a new World
first
Cup.
6 to 12 months after the World Cup,
Yeah.
then, oh yeah, like him.
Yeah.
Before that, it's like, oh, that's a weird name, Rassie.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Now Rassie Erasmus put the name on the map. Every
Yeah.
second child.
And I'll take it.
Yeah. No, but you're a massive legend in SA cricket. For those who don't know, Rassie van der Dussen, you can Google him. Incredible mensch, but also incredible sports star.
Okay.
Show is called House Life. Yes, Themba, I'm getting there.
Oh, man.
You can ask the question.
No, I thought we should ask Rassie how life is.
Yeah.
How is life, man?
How much time do you have? No, life is good. Yeah, busy. Life of a sportsman is busy. Like you guys also, we travel a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah. Can I ask, what is your daily go-to? I mean...
It's difficult because it changes, because I'm at home probably 4 to 5 months a year, and the other time I'm on the road. So at home, I try to do not too much. I've got a few things on the side that I work on, and obviously then there's training. I still have a day job. I keep telling people it's still my job to play cricket.
Oh, that's cool.
Some people I think don't see it as a job, but yeah, obviously the training, all that conditioning, all that stuff happens a few times a week, and then the rest of the time spend time with friends, family. Got a few side hustles going, and that keeps me nice and busy. And then obviously when you're on tour, it just changes depending on where you are in the world.
Is your attitude, because obviously sports guys, you need to be fit the whole time. Is that like when you wake up in the morning, are you excited to work out / work on your, not physique, but like to stay in shape and like stay fit to do your thing? Or is it like a drag, like, oh yeah, I have to go again?
It's neither.
Yeah.
So it just falls like in the middle, where it's like something you just have to do it type of thing. So you don't get excited to go up and run and go to the gym. I've been hitting the gym, and that maybe doesn't look like it, for the last
Did you look incredible?
20 years. Yeah, but you wouldn't say it necessarily, but yeah.
That is not a slim fit shirt, but it does sit slim.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't say it, but and that's the thing. It's just like one of those things that in the industry you have to do and get done. The fitness or the rehab, the mobility, all those types of things is things that keeps you on the field, and you can only do what you do if you're on the field and not injured. So it's sort of just the boxes that you need to tick.
Yeah. How's life with you, bro?
How's life with me? Well, at the moment, we have
Indulge.
a man with a hammer near the studio. If you can pick that up, that's what you're hearing. He is the most diligent worker I've ever experienced. I got in a couple of days ago, like super early, because I know the hammer guy's coming. So I got in at like 7. Man was here at 15:15.
You have it easy. So for people at home, me and Themba's office is at the bottom, my office is at the top. They're building new offices next to mine. This is nothing, dude.
You're not recording voiceovers, though.
No, I'm recording my Afrikaans podcast. It's torture. This is nothing.
So
Anyway,
it's still in the ear, isn't it? Like you
Yeah.
still hear it.
I know, but this guy will be done. But how's your life? What happened yesterday? Go.
So,
Don't go
okay,
back.
so yesterday, so we bought. So I have the worst luck with cars, and somehow, like, I just buy more cars, and like I like buying old cars, and for some reason, it just all the new car times that they don't work out. So I got my missus a new car, and the engine light came on the other day, but it's got low mileage. It's got like 30,000 k's on it. Anyway, so that's back at the shop, and now I'm on the phone with the guy yesterday. I'm in Pretoria because they're like, no, we're just gonna fix it, and I'm like, do you guys understand my worry? That it's only got 30,000 k's on it, and it's
Valid.
sickling already, whatever. And I'm like, I just get stressed out about the whole thing, kind of thing. So he's like, no, don't worry. I'm in Pretoria on the phone having this conversation. As I leave, my water cooler light comes on. And like, listen, it's not like I bought the cars out of backyard. Everything's with dealership. We've got like motor plans. Everything's in place. It's just the inconvenience of the stuff happening. Anyway, so long story short, I have to get my car flatbedded back from Pretoria yesterday. And so last night I'm sitting at home and I'm going, I spent all this money, man. I spent all this money on cars. And the most reliable car that I have is my Kombi from 1970, which I came to work in this morning. Yeah. And so, yeah, look, it's a little bit frustrating. My wife actually just picked up her car again.
It's fine. Is it
working?
Is there another light on?
For now.
I'm only laughing because I know you. And I know for the last year, the story last year.
Hang on. No. Guess who made me buy that car?
That's nonsense.
Guess who? Not made me. Sold the car basically to my wife, and then I got forced into purchasing it. Ladies and gentlemen.
When you go to the ocean in December and there's space for everyone, you're gonna thank me. But I know last year
Guess who's picking me up outside Bloemfontein?
it almost ended up in a lawsuit with the previous car and that dealership. That's why I just laugh at you. But I didn't laugh yesterday when you sent you the photo. I actually said, dude, I'm not laughing for once because I know you. When you go almost to court over a car, then it's like, yes, this is getting
Not where
rough.
you want to be now.
Yeah, dude.
Rassie, do you have any car stories? What's your favorite car? Tell us something about cars.
Okay, so I have a bit of a complicated relationship with cars. In my industry, I've been sponsored vehicles from various companies. So I'm going to refrain from mentioning them because they do sometimes change from time to time as your career changes. So no, I've been lucky in the last 10 years not to actually own a car.
See, we're trying to get to that level.
Yeah, well, I can
Holding thumbs.
now. I can put you in touch.
Okay.
Just
I just
one
wanna walk.
hand washes the other.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I like it.
Because then, if your light goes on, it's not your problem, is it?
Ooh,
So
that's deep.
Anybody there with the car sponsorships?
Thank you to. Let's just name a random brand.
yeah,
Thank you to. Is Dayu still a thing?
if you're looking for like a truck type thing, which
Yeah,
you guys
thank
can use in
Let's
your
get
industry.
like a Hybo sponsor. What's
yeah,
that called?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to jump into some hard sports talk.
I want
kind
to.
of stuff.
Can I share mine?
Okay.
How's
Yeah.
life?
Sorry, we forgot
How's
to
life?
ask you. How's your?
I'm that guy. You know when someone asks you how's it going and you just go,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're in trouble
No.
when you ask somebody how's your day going, and they sigh and they go,
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I just want to say I'm super excited. Me and Themba, our kids are at the same school, and there's a concert. What's it called? A concert.
"Yeah, it's the kids' con."
It's a kids concert this afternoon, and I'm super excited. My daughter's 1.5. I don't know. With all due respect, I love the teachers in the school, but I don't know what a 1.5-year-old can do in a concert. I'm super excited to just be like, I love you, but what are you doing?
Yeah,
Super
that's
excited.
exciting. You're just going to be there with your phone. Like,
Are we going to be that parents? I am, at
yeah,
least.
of course.
Okay, but I have a 3-year-old, so
Yeah,
he's gonna be doing
he
something.
He can sing.
He's got his father's talent.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
True.
Yeah.
I've got a question, Rassie.
Yes.
How old were you when you, did you ever have to decide between any other sport, or was cricket the one you were naturally better at?
Yeah, a bit of both. I think early on, I obviously loved cricket from like 8 or 9. I played various other sports throughout school, but I think my ability was more forthcoming in cricket for some reason. Played some other ball sports as well. Never big into the rugby. My dad was a rugby player at university and so forth, and he actually didn't want us to play rugby that much. My older brother was a very good rugby player. But yeah, from sort of early on, knew that cricket was my thing, and decided that that's probably what I want to pursue. And I'm just lucky that I had good parents that sort of gave me that freedom to do that, because I think a lot of guys that I saw, like, are you sure you want to pursue sport type of thing? Like, your odds are so
From the parent
small.
side.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like, what are the odds of you actually like making it?
Yeah.
yeah, and my dad was just like, you know what, go for it. And whatever happens, happens, but give it your all. If you're going to do it properly. And yeah, so pretty early on, I decided cricket was my thing. Obviously, not knowing that if it's going to happen or not, but I mean, are there any guarantees in life?
Yeah.
That death and taxes?
Yeah, that's true.
Did you play? Did you play in high school like provincial? Like were you like under 16? Of where you from?
Northerns, yeah. So
Pretoria?
Pretoria,
Wow.
yeah.
But what
So,
school?
Menlo Park.
Can we just continue this?
By the Afrikaanse section.
We're part of the
van die
Afrikaans section.
podcast.
It's strange to speak Afrikaans. Two Afrikaans guys speaking English. I know it's strange.
We mentioned it earlier. It happens like that.
Yeah.
Afrikaans people are too nice.
Yeah, we just should ignore them.
It's like when there's
I'm sure we decided that this was going to be an English podcast.
Yeah.
But I think that generally goes. I think it's an English thing, because like even if you've got 4 guys standing around talking Zulu, Xhosa or something, any vernac, everyone will always default to English if there's an English guy, and I think English guys are the problem.
Shame.
Yeah.
I would thank you to the English people that listen to this show.
We appreciate.
So what you say, Pretoria in school?
Pretoria, Menlo Park, yeah. But played provincial. Was never like a standout, I would say. It's always sort of that guy, I think, that people thought was good, but not like special. I think, but maybe in hindsight that's a good thing. Like you always feel like you backs against the wall and you got to really fight for what you want. Things didn't come easy, but in hindsight, I think there's a lot of lessons that I took from that.
So I've heard this a couple of times. People saying that you should never praise your kids too much, because of that exact same thing. Then they're always, and it's the same thing as some kids that do like really well at school and they're just always doing well. They're never put in that sort of position where they need to like push, or they needed to be challenged or anything, because they've just always been ahead of the curve. So that's quite interesting to say that, like, we always use the example of pop idols. Remember Coca-Cola pop idols back in the day? Coca-Cola. So they always, you get your winner, and then it's so seldom ever that the winner went on to go do anything. It was always like to finish second, fourth, third.
Because you just win a competition, you don't win a career.
Yeah.
And everyone knows it's super hard work. It's not the most. I bet you there's cricketers that was better than you in school that never made it.
Like, that's very
music. That's my whole career. Is everyone's better than me, but I just hustled hard. And there's so many factors that plays a role. It's like that Malcolm Gladwell tipping point thing of like there's so many things plays a role, and the majority of things not even in your control.
Yeah, no, there is. I can think of a few guys that sort of growing up, everyone would say these are the guys who's going to make it type of thing. And I think it's probably the same in any industry. But there's a certain resilience, I think, that if you're not the front runner, that you build up over time because you're chasing someone. I think it's very tough for young or kids. Being that guy that you or girl that you speak about that's always just good at everything, because at some stage, like, there's a target on your back, and the ones behind you are like, I want what you have, and I'm willing to do more, and it doesn't come so easy for me as it comes for you, type of thing. So
there's a fascinating book by Malcolm Gladwell called David and Goliath. So it's called David and Goliath: The Advantages of Having a Disadvantage and the Disadvantages of Having an Advantage. And the book is about like how people in the world, like some of the biggest,
insanely complicated.
It's about some of the biggest game changers in the world are people that had a setback from a young age. They're dyslexic, mother or father died. So they at a younger age had to deal with disappointment. So if you're 5 and you go through losing a parent, dyslexia, whatever, you deal with the feeling of like rejection or all that negative stuff, sad stuff at 5, where the other buddy, 18 years old, he gets his first sad thing and he doesn't know how to handle it. So it gives you an advantage of like in life having a disadvantage earlier. And it's kind of that thing where you're like not as good as the rest, but you kind of work there. Like Warren Whiteley is a great example. He was the Springbok captain for a while. He was at varsity at my time, Northwest University. Studied graphic design, dude. Studied graphic design in Potch, became the South African rugby captain. But I think he played for the Northwest like 3rd or 4th team. He wasn't even picker 1. And then he became incredible. So when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah. So is there a turning point though? Like, okay, so you want to play cricket, you're working hard at it. Is there a point at which you go, hell, this is actually going to happen? Because I'm sure there's got to be a point where you're going, do I go on my fallback plan or do I give this horns? Where was that for you?
Well, in my case, I never had a fallback plan, and it's probably not great advice to the people with children out there. But I never had. So I sort of threw all my eggs in this basket, saying that if I'm going to do it, yes, the odds are small, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to give it all. I'm going to give it my best chance, because I also saw in that light guys with a fallback plan. It was easier for them to say, okay, I haven't made it by this age, but it's okay. I've studied, or I can go into a job. And I mean, in sport, and I don't know as much in entertainment, but there's a thing I read years ago, that success is oftentimes a case of holding on when others are letting go. And I think in my case, because I didn't have a backup plan, I could hold on. Or no, I had to hold on a little bit longer.
There wasn't a backup plan.
There wasn't a backup plan. Yeah, so there is, I don't think there's ever a turning point now. Looking back, I'm 35 now, I probably have 2 or 3 years left in my career. Quite satisfied where I'm at, but I don't think there's ever a time when you say, oh, now I've made it.
Yeah.
Because it's like a staircase. When you reach the next level,
always another-
you see like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
How do I challenge myself to get there? Type of thing. Yeah.
But didn't Sachin Tendulkar, did he play till 42?
Some guys do.
Yeah, dude.
If I don't know that I will.
Yeah.
That I will.
Yeah.
I've got.
Yeah.
I'm lucky.
Life
I've
is
got,
bigger than, there's more than life to cricket.
Yeah, I've got a few other things going on,
Yeah.
and as long as I'm fit and I'm enjoying it, and it still makes economic sense, I'll do it. But yeah, I'm lucky that I don't have to hang on to that also for as long as possible, type of thing. Yeah.
That's a good point. I just have to ask quickly: is this hammering?
Do
bothering
you
you?
want your, like I told you yesterday, dude, have you heard my neighbors in my office?
No, I didn't hear
Hammering.
you.
They are, it's like
Wow.
it's loud. No, but we didn't hear it. These microphones. Thank you. Shout out to no one sponsoring microphones.
Microphones we bought
There's
ourselves.
no way there. I promise.
With the gaffer tape, yeah.
I've got a really nerdy. I've got 2 nerdy cricket questions, but go first. I just
No,
wanna-
so just that case about holding on is quite an interesting one. I think guys talk about it in the acting space quite a bit, and they say, a lot of prolific actors only started getting noticed in their 30s and that sort of thing, and you battle through your 20s the whole way. And it's exactly that same thing as holding on, because usually the guys all get to 28, 29. There's pressure. You're looking at what your friends are doing, and you're like, okay, cool. Let me go and get a corporate job.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of crazy nutcases that hold on, and then boom,
That's
2.5 years
exactly it,
later, suddenly things start to come together. And it's not lacquer, but I think also my kind of vibe is the same thing. I'm like, didn't have anything else going on, so this better work, and it looks like it's working. So yeah. But anyways, nerding.
There's just 2 really silly questions. The one is, how, when you guys get paid, my question is the POP reference. Is it like Rassie? Is it like 6 sixes that you hit, or is it like winning runs? It's always fascinating how it works, because your employer is like Cricket SA and
South
also the Lions.
Yeah.
So that's what, this is an honest question. I'm trying to be funny. I always wondered, like, how does it look? Because when we get paid, it's like MC or this or that. I was like wondering with the cricket world, is it just you have got a number, a cricket number, and then they go?
Yeah, so it varies. There's a few models, but we lucky in South Africa that we are contracted for longer periods. Some countries, even like countries like New Zealand, the guys are professional cricketers contracted for 7 months during the year. We're lucky that we have multiple year contracts. So you basically get a salary, you get a match fee depending on where and who you play for, and there's some incentive sometimes built into it.
Like sixes and stuff like that.
More like milestones, like 50s and 100s.
Oh, snap.
Obviously, when you win a tournament, there's winnings that goes to, some of it goes to the players. But no, it's a normal pay slip with, you have some...
Miscatch. You know, the guy calls the match. Miscatch minus.
Yeah, so yeah, medical aid. Like I said, in South Africa, we're really like blessed to have South African Cricketers Association, which is our union essentially. We have great benefits, medical aid. They really look after the players, and that's in world terms. Actually, our players are looked after very well, and it's such an important thing because it equips guys also after cricket to just have a bit of a leeway, like a provident fund and something to to try and minimize the cases of I know, like in football, for example, a guy stops playing,
Yeah.
money stops coming in, and there's nothing else, and so they really invest in
Same,
like
same in our
after.
industry.
We,
There's no union.
yeah.
If you're out, if you stop making money, that's it.
Have you ever gotten a penalty? I know sometimes in cricket, when you, I don't know if you swear or what's the reason someone,
Yeah,
there's like conduct, what do you call it? Misconduct.
yeah, so you do get cited or you get like infringements and there's various
Have you ever
levels.
gotten one?
Have.
For what?
Um,
Are you allowed to speak about it?
no,
You don't have to say what I-
it's
Not-
actually
you're allowed
such
to,
a
you
it's
want
such a
to.
weird one, interesting one. But you know, when like smartwatches started coming in a few years ago, I can mention I was wearing a Garmin watch, so then like guys started playing with it because it's an active sport watch, and I like quite enjoyed the insights that
Yeah,
you give
heart-
batting for a whole
heartbeat.
day and all those types of calories burned, and because you also use that as a reference for your recovery. But then they sort of realized that you can communicate with them, and in cricket there's a big thing about betting and spot
yeah,
betting,
yeah.
and
Of course.
now like it's a big thing, illegal betting in cricket. So they were saying like if you are technically wearing one of the smartwatches, you can receive messages on your wrists and then say,
fair,
okay,
fair.
I need to bowl a wide this ball, and then someone will pay me this much because they're betting.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, come on, man, I bought this thing. It's not cheap. Like, I bought it for the insights on, I'm a
Yeah.
professional sportsman.
Yeah.
And then I sort of kept playing with it, even though we weren't allowed to. And eventually they were like, listen, we've told you 4 times.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to, like, I was like on TV there,
Yeah.
like, and then my watch would like slip out from under my shirt. And I was like, and then, so I got an infringement. It's a
Getting
weird
SMS.
one.
That is
It's a weird one.
fascinating.
But
Yeah.
sometimes guys swear and stump mics. And,
Yeah.
and then you get cited for that in the heat
Did
of the
the
moment.
chirping get less? You know, the world changed. Everyone's a little bit
Yeah.
more sensitive.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word work. I guess
Even
in
as
work.
kids, we used to, when we played like kids cricket, like that was the most horrible place to be
That's-
taking,
Yeah.
getting up to
That
the
stop
crease.
mic is where I learned about the P word.
Yeah.
So did it get more sensitive, or people less? I'm not going to say something about your mother anymore because of the world, the culture.
Maybe, but the producers also play a part because they can obviously lower the mic
okay.
volume.
No, but I'm talking about between players. Like
Yes
people get
and
less.
no.
As it's still
Not really the Australias and the Englands of the
They
world.
gooi.
No, well, we also throw it back to them. I don't think there's a lot of love lost there. But what happens actually is because you play with the guys in the leagues around like IPL and all that stuff, so you actually get to know the guys. So these days in cricket, like club cricket is the Wild West. Like there,
everything goes.
everything goes. But even in like domestic franchise cricket, you end up knowing the guys, so you're not going to swear at their mothers. And
Yeah, shame.
obviously, there's guys that you don't get along with, and it gets a bit spicy sometimes, which is good. Good for
Such a
everyone
diplomatic
involved.
way of putting it.
Yeah.
Gets a bit spicy.
Yeah.
Gets a bit spicy sometimes.
Uh,
Did you hear about that? So the rules of going out in cricket, obviously we all know most of them, but then there was, what is it? There's 4, but then there was a 5th one. If you take too long for a helmet, I don't know who, I can't remember who it was, but I read about it the other day.
It was recently, in the World Cup last year.
Batsman wanted a new helmet, but the helmet that he was getting needed a chin strap or something.
Yeah.
Took too long.
and they
Was
gave
it-
him out.
Yeah,
You can get timed out. That was what happened. Yeah. So if a wicket
I didn't
falls, you
know
have 2 minutes to face up to the next ball. And if you take longer than that, so what happened in that case is he went out to bat. His helmet broke as he got to the pitch, and he was like, obviously can't bat with this helmet. Waved for a new helmet, but then they it obviously took longer than 2 minutes. The other team
way.
appealed, and then within the rules of the game, he was out. It was a whole
and it's
thing.
like the first time it's ever happened, like
Yeah.
in like 100 odd
Yeah.
years. Imagine if you're the helmet guy.
You're
Yeah.
the reason.
Imagine you're the helmet guy.
Yeah.
POP minus helmet guy,
Yeah.
no money.
Yeah,
You just got there, and the guy's like, "It's fine. I'm already
yeah.
out."
It sparked a feud between. It was Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, the match that you're referring to. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was chaos. Yeah.
How does it feel to because you had a few innings, especially in one day cricket. I think one of them was a pink jersey. I don't know what you call the pink test. I don't know what they call it.
Pink day. Yeah.
Where you were like the ultimate hero. How does it feel to wake up the next day and because it's different? Yeah, but the whole world, because you play against like international teams, and then the next day you're like, yep, I'm the reason why the whole country is feeling like it today, and like we made some. Like, how does that feel, dude?
It's a very interesting. Obviously, it's very satisfying,
Yeah.
but it's a very interesting feeling because at the end of the day, you're just doing what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
like, you're just going out there and performing your skill, and you aspire every time you go out to bat or whatever it is in sport. You aspire to put in that performance, and then some days it happens. Most days it doesn't happen, which is just the nature of sport, especially cricket. But and then it's like you in that position, but it's you just actually did what you know you can do, but you've being praised for it. It's a hell of a feeling.
Yeah.
I must be honest. And then sometimes it's like afterwards you only realize like, and that's the thing. Like I've always said, for me the ultimate thing is not necessarily to play in IPLs and earn so much money and what. For me the ultimate thing was to play for South Africa.
Yeah.
Because if you look down and you see that badge on your chest, it almost it pushes you. I don't know how to describe, but you do things that you don't think you can do.
Oh, wow.
Because in that moment, you are so like it. I don't know. Yeah, I can't describe. But oftentimes I look back at highlights and stuff, and I'm like, "Geez, that's a hell of a shot that I played there."
nice.
Like, how does it even happen? You know, that type of thing. But in the moment, you're so focused, you're so in the zone. There's so much on it. There's 30,000 people at the Wanderers here. Watching. It's Australia you're playing, or England or India, so a big team. It's the number one bowler in the world, and then it's like almost like you're in a corner. It's you're either going to fail or you're going to succeed.
Yeah. So a big thing about sport though is that like over and above the physical conditioning and everything, it's the mental game. And I think like talking about stuff like that, because I remember playing kids cricket, and you walk in and you're like, I played against my old school once, so like all my old buddies came to the school I went to, and then I had to bat against them, and it like got all in my head. I still remember, I think it was Will Khaya or somebody who was running up. He bowled, and I was like, don't mess it up, don't mess it up. Clink. And that was it. And it was like grand opening, grand closing. And even now with like trying to play a bit of golf, same thing. Just get this on the green and back into the water. How do you stay mentally strong? Kind of.
I think there's aspects to it. So that resilience we spoke about earlier, like in your life, I suppose it's you're a product of your environment and things that happen to you and so forth. But you mentioned like a common mistake is saying like what not to do. So don't do this or don't do this, because in your mind actually doesn't distinguish. It only like recognizes the action. So if you say don't hit it into the water off the tee, like your mind actually reacts stronger to that image of you hitting it into the water. So that's a very simple tool to just say focus on what you should be focused on. So hit it on the green type of thing, or not saying don't hit it into the bunker type of thing. So there's that, and there's also like you can sometimes spend a lot of mental energy to try and fight certain thoughts and emotions. So when you are under pressure, it can drain you fairly quickly if you try and not realize the gravity of the situation. So instead of saying, you know what, it's a pressure situation, it's 30,000 people, we're under pressure as a team, trying to think, no, it's just a bowler. No, it's just a normal match. Like sometimes, or actually most times, it's like make peace with the situation first. And accept the fact that, you know what, I'm in the middle here. I'm facing Mitchell Stark or whoever it might be, bowling at 150, the ball swinging. We're chasing
Sounds
300.
like the most terrifying thing I've ever heard of.
Just 150.
Mitchell Stark 150 ball swinging. I'm like, no.
But then as soon as you make peace with that, then you can say, okay, what is my skill? What do I need to focus on? Yeah. And then you revert back into that. Okay, these are my cues. These are my mental phrases that I work through, and this is my game plan, my blueprint, my strengths and so forth, and this is what I need to focus on right now. And you just break it down to in that moment.
Yeah. It's also like riding bicycle. it gets to a point. No, listen, bro. No, meaning, yes.
It's like riding a
If
bicycle.
you don't give a chance to explain, then it's not going to make sense. Next question. No, I mean, you know when you haven't ridden a bicycle forever, you just get on it and you start paddling. That's it. So with you, it's like
Pedaling. You meant pedaling.
pedaling. Sorry, Afrikaans. What I mean is like that's all you can do. It's just a paddle. You've got this. You've been doing this for like 20 years, 25 years, whatever. So at the end, it's just like I can do this. But I can't even fathom just because all the noise. I mean, you need to drown out 30,000 people screaming and there's pressure because there's so many runs, so many balls. And now you have this inner while this guy's running main Stokes. You're like,
I've just got one guy with a hammer and I can barely make it through a
you just got a
day.
guy going, listen, the flatbed will be 1.8. you got cash on you. You can't even drown that noise out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
fascinating.
let's talk. Okay, so we've chatted cricket. You said okay, cool, potential. Look, 2 years might be more, might be less. Who knows? You've got a couple of side gigs going on. We all got a little side hustle, eh? Well, podcast. Hopefully, some sponsors pull in. What else have you got going on, man?
Yeah, I'm lucky that with my brothers and stuff, they're very business and entrepreneurial minded. I suppose we get that from our dad. So been involved in a few things. The one that's really taken off has been in the coffee industry. So
Shout out Abantu
Coffee. There it is. There it is.
We're getting caps soon.
Yeah, you're getting something else also soon. But yeah, well, you said you don't have sponsors. That ends today. No, I'm joking. Yeah, so 4 years ago, just after COVID, my mate and I, Chris Cardoso, we've always wanted to do this coffee thing. We love coffee. We spend a lot of money on coffee, so let's try and do our own thing. We also in our industries, also in the cricket space, you get to know a lot of people, and especially after COVID, life was tough, and we said, okay, well, we're lucky enough to have jobs of our own. Let's try and create a vehicle that we can empower other people with, and I mean, the retail space or the restaurant space or coffee shop space is an easy one to try and scale quickly, to employ people quickly, and we came up with Abantu Coffee, which translates to the people's coffee, and very much focused on the people that we have working with us and for us in the shops to give opportunities, because it's a very unregulated space, the waitering space, the barista space. And we sort of said, okay, we want to sell coffee. We want to make it accessible to everyone. So coffee has, in the last 5 to 10 years, gone into this almost like this elitist thing where you can easily pay like 45 upwards for a cappuccino.
Yeah.
And we said, like, let's try and change that model so that anyone can afford a coffee at Abantu Coffee. And we have lawyers, car guards, plumbers, and that's a great thing for me to see always. Like, we have people of all walks of life, because our prices are at that point where they can afford it. It's not just about the bottom line for us. So we started that very much focused internally on the people that we give opportunities to and that we employ. And it's been really fulfilling, and I think because we did it from that aspect, people really support the brand, and obviously the quality of coffee is good as well. That's a non-negotiable, but we really sort of try to go at it from that angle, and it's been really good.
Yeah, I've been to that one in Centurion a few times. We shot a series there, and I had to go to Centurion for like 3 weeks, and every day I stopped at that one in Highveld.
Yeah,
It was awesome. And it's just like the most, you're right, it's like the most random people. It's like a guy from the slaghuis. It's like not just the typical fancy guy that's hustling with his laptop.
Because, well, I mean, not to mention any other brands, but there's like one particular brand where you got to go with your MacBook. You got to be writing a screenplay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly it. Yeah, we do get those people as well.
Yeah,
they're welcome. You're always welcome. Yeah.
Everyone's welcome, and
Everyone's
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like Abantu Coffee, everyone's welcome. So that's been really fulfilling, and we've learned a lot. And we're sitting on 9 shops now in the Pretoria area.
Nice.
And it's going really well. Challenges come, and we sort of keep trying to see how can we make it better for our people, type of thing. So I mean, I can bore you guys all afternoon with what stuff we do, but end of the day,
Go.
No, I was going to say, it is really crazy though about coffee. I mean,
It exploded. It feels like the last 10 years, coffee
definitely
just
has.
exploded.
but it stayed because, like, so I worked in the gin industry before, and gin had that
gin industry.
explosion.
You mean the gin
One of the
distillery?
many jobs. Still industry. What did you
You
try to
should, you
say?
should call it the industry.
Okay, that is clever. That is clever. But
Well played. Well
I'm
played.
going to give you props on that.
Okay,
I'm
sorry,
gonna derail my
I
story.
derailed
to
your
tell
story.
jokes.
Sorry, go. Sorry.
But like, yeah, so gin escalated and then it's kind of plateaued. Whereas, the shelf space was 2, then it got to like 10-meter long shelves of gin selection, and now everybody's kind of just dropped off, and it's only the guys who've got staying power who've been around. Whereas
Exactly.
coffee just seems to be,
Yeah.
it's there.
And it's going to get to a place where something similar is going to happen as well, because it's very much exploded in the last 5 years, but you just have to be in a position where you can hold on a little bit longer,
Yeah.
because it's tough out there,
Yeah.
and a lot of coffee shops are also closing. Being in the industry, I notice it. So you've got to sort of try and make it work where you can but I suppose that's where we're lucky. It's not just about the bottom line for us. We have a bit of a bigger thing about.
As a parent, I want to ask you as a coffee guy. You know, when your kids can only start driving when they're 18.
Yeah.
What's a healthy age to introduce a child to caffeine?
I don't know, because
to coffee.
I
She's 1.5 now. Is that a little bit too rough?
well, I don't know.
I just want to say,
it'll be
Rassie is not a
interesting to
doctor.
say.
He's not a doctor, so this is not
Yeah,
medical advice.
No, don't take me on it. But I mean, I've been drinking coffee. So some people will say, no, it's not coffee. It's actually a chicory blend.
Thanks,
but-
Rick Coffee, for the
Yeah,
sponsor
yeah.
in collaboration with Ubuntu
Yeah.
Coffee.
But since I can remember, and that was small, and I think I'm okay. Like,
If we look at the way you play, maybe the coffee was the
you
answer.
know, maybe that's it, the secret sauce. But I don't know. It's an interesting question.
What do you think? What age are you gonna start giving you? Or they're already on coffee?
No. No. We're avoiding coffee for as long as possible. I think also the other thing is you transition into a coffee phase of your life. So like I was also little Rick coffee, even the polystyrene cup,
Yeah.
sugar, milk, 100%.
Yeah.
And then I decided I don't want to have sugar anymore, and then I'll just not have milk anymore. And then like obviously started getting used to Americano. And then I got to set the one day, and I didn't ever think I was a coffee snob. Like that was never my intention. And someone asked me, they're like, "Oh, can we get you a coffee?" I said, "Yeah, black coffee would be great." And I still remember that they gave me the cup, and I took a sip. I was like, "What is this?" And it was like it was like Rick coffee and water.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the
You
hell?"
became a coffee snob.
Yeah. I put it aside, and I'm just like, "Wow,
Yeah.
let me accept it for what it is."
But coffee for me became like each morning, my life changed very fast since we put Lyric in school. It takes me an hour, dude, from home to drop her off, to drop our dog off, to come to the office. So an hour of my day is like just in my car. And then as soon as I stop here, there's 3 coffee shops on each corner. So I go to the one, not gonna name them. Your pastries are nice, but your coffee's terrible. So I buy a pastry there, walk across, go to the Whippet. The coffee's legit. Thank you, Whippet.
If anybody does the maths, they've kind of
There's only one more left.
triangulated.
There's only one
Yeah.
left. But my point is, it became a habit. You know, when people smoke, they be like, when they smoke, they have to have a coffee. It's like it's connected. So I have to have that pastry with the coffee. So that's what the only time I drink coffee is the whole thing of like, oh, I'm an artist and I'm getting something because they're gonna do a podcast. It's so terrible. The lies I tell myself.
Yeah.
no
But
question.
It's a very habitual thing.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about the state of the country. So I think there's a very positive vibe going around, and I like having this conversation with different people just to see what their sort of assessment is. You know, everything feels like super positive at the moment. Everybody's like, "Oh, GNU seems to be working."
Load shedding over all of a sudden.
Like we got electricity. We heard the other day that they've got too much electricity that they're turning things off. We're like, how did we
Keep
go
them
from-
on.
Yeah, they're like, you can get an extra geyser. All of a sudden, there's extra geyser specials.
the generator salesmen are super grumpy.
Yeah.
But in your what's your take on it? You're a business owner. You're a sportsman.
Yeah.
You're your own individual.
Man,
what you feeling?
I love South Africa, and I think there's so much opportunity here. Yeah, I'm an optimist. So especially when it comes to our country, because I mean you meet so many good people and the odd bad ones in between, but that's everywhere. And I've been lucky enough to travel the world and see a lot of countries and a lot of societies, and you know what, I would still take South Africa any day above any place I've ever been, and I've been to a lot of places. And that's why I keep telling people, especially because you get people who get a bit despondent over here, but oftentimes it's people that they haven't been necessarily overseas, or they, you know, the grass always looks greener.
What they've seen in the movies and
and I just keep telling people, like, we live in the best place in the world. Yes, we have our problems. Everywhere has problems, like, but like our problems are our own, and we can do something about it. And so I think our country's in a great place. The last few months or year has worked out, I think, really well politically for stabilizing everything. And you know what? At the end of the day, the bad ones will work themselves out. The circle will get too small. It will collapse on them, and good will also always prevail. And that's, I think, what we're starting to see from a political landscape, from a societal landscape. Like we're getting there. We're getting there, and it's positive.
But I always say there's way more good people than bad people. Bad people just get the attention always. But it's like within relationships, like our relationships work, in my opinion. You get hurt by people, so that's why your healing will also come from people. And in South Africa, because of our history, we've been hurt by people, black or white, gay, straight. There's hurt all around, and that's why I feel like the healing will always come from people having the tough conversations, doing their work. And I think that we're not political analysts at all. I know you met Frans Cronje once, and now you raise relations.
Dr. Frans Cronje, because you could get the two confused.
Well, true. But that's what always excites me about South Africa. There's more people that want to make this country work than what Twitter says or Facebook says, and that's just something I always hold on to, is the people on the ground. They're doing their thing, man. They're rolling up the sleeves, making this country work.
Exactly. Yeah, I think one of the truest things is saying empty vessels make the most noise. Yeah. And whenever you hear an argument about something, it's the three guys that had nothing better to do with their day. Because the rest of us, like you say, we're trying to build businesses and empower people and make silly podcasts, and we're busy out here. Like we don't have time to be telling nonsense stories. And
how good are you with social media? Like haters, people giving you nonsense, because yes, the public, we can be brutal. We're always better than the cricketer or the rugby guy. We're always better than the guy that actually made the team. We're always better. And I mean, you guys can go from a 0 to a 0. You either win the match or you lose the match. And then I know people that double down with me as well. I know no one that hates you. So I just think we'll just comments. But just hate mail in general, right? Comments. Like, do you read them? Do you reply? Do you just brush it off?
No, I think I'm pretty good. I do read some of it. Definitely not all of it. I'm going to waste my time on all of that. But honestly, if I say, like, it doesn't affect me, I can have people say, it doesn't affect me. But it doesn't affect me, because it's almost like I almost more pity the guy who feels like he has to go on X or on your Instagram now and go comment about how bad you are, or swear at your family, and like I'm thinking, like, geez, your life must be very tough if now that is your outlet. Because and that's why I have an internal reference of success and what I want to do. So it really, to me, doesn't matter what other people say.
You know, it's funny about like hating on sports guys, because normally you go like, I could die ball raak slaan, I could have hit that ball, I could have made that tackle. 99% of people that do that to sportsmen never in their life would be better. But in our world, there are funnier people than us. There are people that can actually do better stuff. So we have to go like, yo, Moerman, all is fine. But the majority of people shooting sportsmen, like, you can't, dude. There's no way you'll face this guy at 150 kilometers.
so I mean, I'll take that on board. I mean, I think there's always going to be somebody funnier than you. There's some oak with creativity skills, and I mean, I've seen it every now and then. Somebody suggests, I put up a video and everyone's laughing, and then someone goes, "Oh, you missed a joke about this," and I'm like, "Oh, dude, I should have put that joke in." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So that person is a funny person, but to make the commitment to say, "Hey, I'm going to do this every day," because I'm like, I think there's a couple of people who are funnier, but can they be consistently funny? I think it's lucky to have moments of brilliance, and I respect anyone for that, but to do it over a prolonged period of time, and I almost think that's the theme of this episode, is It's
Yeah.
not about doing it once. It's not
Holding
about
on.
doing it
It's
for
about holding
8
on.
years. It's about outlasting everybody
Did you guys
else.
listen to Roger Federer's that speech, that incredible
Which one?
keynote speech? He did one just now, 3 months ago,
I don't think so. No.
where he gave these incredible stats on his career, where it comes down to he lost more points than he won. With his insane career, because out of say like 5 points or 10 that you lose 3, then you win 2. So he just break down incredible stats about he had to lose more in his whole life to have this incredible.
Unbelievable.
Because every second shot is not a point,
Yeah.
and you don't think about that.
Yeah.
I've got one more question. If you want one more question, then we can shut it down.
No, go.
The loss. So I know you went through loss at a young age. I lost my father. The concept of loss, like how did that change your outlook in life going forward? Thinking about death, is that something that's on your mind? For me lately, since we've had Lyric, death has been like a strange thing in my life. It's not like I'm scared like every day. Oh, it's more like making peace with it, that death is part of life, not like the end of life, but just the concept of like making peace with like it's just there. It's part of it. It's gonna happen one day.
Yeah. Geez, that's a deep one. But
You don't have to answer. No
no,
pressure.
but it is. Yeah, I lost my mom when I was 14 years old. I have 2 younger brothers, which would probably hit maybe harder. I don't know. Maybe it's better at young age. It's difficult to say. Like, what's a good age to lose a parent? It's not. I don't
No
think.
such thing,
But I think about death. Like it's always worse for the people staying behind.
Yeah.
I think. So when that happened in our lives, I was like, you know what, we'll be okay, and it's tough, but you know, she's at a better place, wherever that might be. She's there now. So that's sort of how I think about it. And in terms of my own death, I just often think like, well, I hope it will be tough for the people, but like maybe not. Maybe like,
Rassie who?
yes, he's gone.
Rassie who?
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, finally. But
We loved his rugby.
yeah. Oh, no, that one. Oh, is he? Oh, that is that. No, but anyway. So that's why not scared is not the right word, like you said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have 3 brothers, which I'm tight with. My dad, obviously tight, married, wife and family, and that's the scary thing, is that you think of, you lose someone close to you, how tough that is.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, say like take yourself out of it, and then for that person, is it that tough? Maybe not. Maybe it is. Maybe it is like they wanted to maybe achieve something, or but you know, they moved on to whatever the afterlife is.
Yeah.
So-
The thing with like death and loss, I went through a divorce as well, is you lose that person. Like my father, you lose them a few times. Same as the divorce. You don't lose them once. Like your parents was like. So it's there's a song that comes on, and then you lose them again.
Yeah.
There's a movie, there's a thing. But like I told someone yesterday with my father, there's so many things inside of me that I'm so grateful, that I took for granted as like a stupid, silly teenager. But that I'm thankful for the patience that I've got from him, and my outlook, and being the introvert, but like I'm slow to speak my mind, and that helped me a lot. Anyway, so it's like you lose them a few times, but you can still see a lot of the stuff. Like with Leandi, there's so many stuff that I still carry with me that I learned from her
Yeah.
in my marriage with her, that I'll always be grateful for.
Yeah.
But there was a part of, obviously it didn't work out in the loss, and my father's away now, and it's just like that's just where I'm at. It's like it's not struggling with death, but like having this conversation of like, loss is just, it's part of life.
So I've got like a 2-prong approach. I'm going, okay, cool. So death for me makes me, like my own death makes me feel like I need to live. So like I'm almost now, over the last couple of years, I'm like, let's get stuff, let's do things, let's start things, let's experience things. Because I'm like, you only have so long, and also 30, 34 now. And going, whew, the last 10 years have gone by so quick. Like, who knows what can happen in the next 10? Yeah. And also that sort of mindset. I think Matthew McConaughey has a speech on it, and he says, you know, he just compares himself to himself the whole time. And you never do something today that your future self isn't going to be grateful for, kind of thing. So always kind of think, so if Themba from yesterday did something stupid that Themba today has to pay for, that's not fair, kind of thing. So, but if I did something yesterday that I'm grateful for myself for doing yesterday, it's getting weird and complicated now.
Yeah.
But it's that. But then
Making
also when
sense.
it comes to like loss, like obviously like like the first 3 years of my life, not having any like steady family and stuff, I think I'm completely callous. So I just either make jokes or I shut down completely.
Yeah.
So I probably gotta work on that.
No, that's how you deal with it. Like,
People do differently.
yeah.
That's the thing.
Someone
That's the
was-
beauty of it. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Dude, our bodies are incredible, dude. The way they, like, childhood trauma, the way your body and your mind protects yourself from childhood trauma. The issue is if you don't deal with it, it's gonna come and bite
Oh,
you.
yeah,
But there's no one way in doing this, dude. I think I'm very proud of you where you are in your life. I know there's some therapy that you're doing. I know that, which is awesome, dude. I also club at therapy now and then. I've got a life coach that inspires me weekly when I'm 40 and I hate my life and I don't know what I'm doing. I still go through those phases. And no, mental health is super important. And I think, yeah, I'm proud of you for that, dude.
Thanks, man.
Do you want to segue?
Segue into something.
Before we start holding hands?
Yeah.
But wait, I've got a
Let me
question.
get in.
Rassie's gonna
Can I get in? Step in here. No.
I just want to ask, what's those things there on the
Oh,
bottom?
you said something about
So
gifts.
you guys said
Big
you
announcement.
don't have any sponsors. I'm here today as your first official sponsor, Ubuntu Coffee,
Here we go.
and like you mentioned, there's a few coffee shops close by.
But not as good as a Ubuntu
Well,
coffee.
there's a lot of good coffee shops. It's a free market economy.
Best humble over here.
Come to Ubuntu Coffee because it's good and
Yeah.
you'll get great service and there's great people working there. But there's also other places.
Yeah.
But we're a little bit better. But there's also other places. Yeah.
What do we have here? Oh,
I have some travel mugs. I don't know if the camera can see me there.
you can see it.
But
Punch
then
in.
it's obviously there's also a green aspect.
Oh,
so
snap.
you guys go to the coffee shops on the corner. You say, listen, I'll have my regular and my Ubuntu Coffee travel mug. You wash it, and instead of using throughout the year 300 paper cups,
Oh, snap.
there's your cup.
That's how many you if you drink a cappuccino every day. That's a lot of
That's what
that's
you work with.
That's
Yeah.
shocking.
So this is your first
Appreciate
sponsor.
it, appreciate
The
it,
next
man.
episode, you must put please put
Yeah,
a
yeah.
table here and have it there in shot clearly.
Fair enough, fair enough.
No, I'm joking. But
4
yeah,
sips
there's
per episode.
obviously one for each of you. This one is
You
just in
can
the
you can
box.
take the one that's correct. I'll take this.
No.
No, I'm kidding. It's
No.
not correct. But Rassie, from my side, thank you for being here. You're our first international guest. This podcast is officially big in all the other places you've played
There
in.
you go.
Bahamas, India,
Yeah.
Australia.
And I'll share it, so you might get some weird listeners from all
We've
around the
got,
world, and that's why it's good that it's in
Coley,
English.
next guest, Coley. We've
Yeah.
got big names coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, thanks for being the inspiring person you are.
Yeah.
I've known you for a while now, and you're a true South African in the true sense of the word, and you're in a difficult industry, and you guys do actually things that unite this country. So thanks for sharing your gifts and your talents. Thanks for being honest and vulnerable, and putting the podcast on the map.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks so much for me.
No, I think-
Massive fans of both of you.
Yes, thanks.
Shot, man. Yeah, I think to be too weird nonsense
We
oaks,
have to.
to have a prolific fan. But I think also just to echo what Bouwer said, like we have a little bit of pressure from time to time, but to carry the pressure that you do and to perform and get out there, and I think believing in yourself is a great example and a role model. And I think of the many aspects that are going to make this country great, and one of the many things and pillars that are going to carry the country, it's going to be sports, arts, and culture. And you guys have the sports thing covered. We'll look after the arts, I guess.
Yeah, and the culture.
Thanks.
Afrikaners boer.
Yes, let's go.
Powered by coffee.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.